Happy almost Passover. Are you guys ready? Are you prepared with a great matzo ball soup recipe? If your grandmother didn't pass down her recipe to you, I have the recipe for you. It's light and fluffy and delicious, and you are gonna love it. Let me show you how to make it. So I'm cracking 4 eggs and separating them. I'm gonna need both the yolk and the white. Set aside the egg whites, they're gonna get whipped later. To that you add your chicken fat. I've already made my broth. Make sure that you chill your chicken broth overnight and then scoop the fat off the top. You need a 1/4 cup of chicken fat. It's a key ingredient. Add that to your eggs. If you didn't make your own chicken broth, which I know you're gonna do, but say you don't, use olive oil. A 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Just go ahead and make your own favorite broth. If you want our recipe, go online. Add a 1/4 cup of seltzer. It's supposed to make it fluffy. I'm not sure I believe that. Don't tell anyone. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I do know that these matzo balls are very fluffy. So maybe it is the seltzer. I kind of think it's the egg whites. What about you? Then add your matzo meal. It's 1 cup of matzo meal. When your matzo meal is folded in, which should take mere seconds, then you can whip your egg whites and fold those in. Set this aside and beat your egg whites. Handy dandy hand beater. Whisk these till stiff peaks form, which should take no time at all. Let's see, are they done? Yep, cool. That was fun. Fold the egg whites into the matzo mixture. Generally, you take about 1/3, stir them in. Once it's lightened up and completely mixed in, then you fold in the rest of the egg whites. So what you're trying to do is lighten up the mixture a little bit so that you can then fold the rest of them in and won't completely break down. And it's important to work really gently and carefully now because you don't want to break down all of those cells of egg white that you puffed up. If you overfold or overmix, they're going to break down. And it's that beaten egg white that's going to make your matzo balls really light and fluffy and puff up in the liquid. So don't overwork it, okay? Once it's nice and folded, then you can refrigerate it for about 20 minutes and you're ready to cook them. While your mixture is chilling, bring some water to a boil. I have a large pot of water here. I'm just gonna salt it. Give it a nice amount of salt because you're gonna cook your matzo balls in water and then add them to your soup later. If you add them to your soup now, it's gonna get kind of cloudy. Who wants that? Nobody. So use damp hands and roll your matzo ball into about 1.5 inch balls. They're a little bit difficult to work with at this stage, but this is what's gonna make them really good. They're gonna be a little misshapen, but don't worry about it. Forgive yourself if they're not perfectly round. They'll get nice and round in the water. And just delicately drop them into the water. And then keep your hands nice and damp and continue to do that until all of them are formed. These are already starting to cook, the ones that I put in earlier, and they're floating nicely, but it'll take about 20 or 25 minutes once all of them are in the pot, covered, to cook all the way through. Cover them up, reduce to a simmer, and cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Right before you're ready to serve, so about 10 minutes before your matzo balls are ready, you can get your garnishes for your soup prepared. So I'm gonna do something really, really simple for this soup. Classic garnish for matzo ball soup. Very thinly sliced carrot and some fresh dill. Cut the carrots very thinly on the diagonal because that's the way that I like them, as you guys already know. You don't want to do diagonal, don't do diagonal. So the carrots should go into your simmering broth, which you've seasoned with salt, for about 7 minutes until they're tender. Remember, you made your broth yesterday, so you'd have your chicken fat today, so you need to heat it up, obviously, to a boil before you do this. While we're here, let's check to see how these look. Oh my God, look at that. That's ridiculous, right? Did you see how much bigger those got? And guess what? There's not even any leavener in these. Chop up some dill and you're ready to serve. Dill, dill, dill. Dill has major waftability, just as waftable as basil, but Jewish instead of Italian. Chop up a couple tablespoons of fresh dill to sprinkle over your soup, or you can just do little sprigs if you like something elegant. Have I ever told you that humming while you cook makes all your food taste better? I think we're ready to serve, right? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Use a slotted spoon to remove your matzo balls from the cooking liquid because it's just water. They're super light and fluffy, so be careful. You don't want to break them. Spoon up some of that clear, delightful broth with delicately sliced carrots. Touch a dill and say, "No thanks, Jewish grandma. I'm my own Jewish grandma now." Matzo ball soup. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be Jewish to eat this. Everybody loves matzo ball soup.